I want to talk a little bit about what we've seen in the last year and how we're reacting to it going forward. And in the policy side, it's funny, in a town that's described with gridlock and nothing getting done, we had some, what we like to call generational opportunities created for our members based on what happened in Congress, particularly in the Inflation Reduction Act. You've heard about it from some other speakers. Tom talked about the tax credits, but guess what? What we like about it is now we get to access those tax credits. You know, we've always been on the outside looking in along with the municipals because we're tax exempt. But Congress made the decision that if you're going to incent investment in new energy technologies and tax credits are the vehicle to do that incentive, then maybe we ought to have all the electric sector have those incentives. So the direct pay provision in the Inflation Reduction Act is a significant change in terms of the decision making that's going to take place with the co-ops and the munis in terms of significant investment. And this is not something that's just for a few years. This is going to be on the books, we hope, in perpetuity, and I think that's going to be something we will look back on years from now and realize what a significant action that was by the United States Congress. Also included in that Inflation Reduction Act was a specific fund of $9.7 billion for rural America in terms of transitioning to a cleaner future. USDA is the entity that's going to administer that. They are currently in the process of developing the rules to implement that. As you might imagine, that's attracted all kinds of groups who are telling USDA exactly how the rules should be set up. But from our perspective, it's important to recognize that there's a diversity of circumstance across electric cooperatives in this country, and we want to make sure that this program is structured in a way where all those co-ops have reasonable opportunities to participate. Keep it simple, keep it flexible. That's what we've encouraged USDA to do because that's what the Congress did when they wrote the statutory language for that program. This is something we're investing a lot of time on at USDA in terms of communicating that. They're completing 13 public roundtables that are taking place as we speak, and we're looking forward to seeing that program be another success. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for any industry. It's a lot of money for electric cooperatives, and we're real excited to see what's going to happen with that. Another thing that happened, I guess it was December of 21, but I kind of lump it together in terms of congressional action. It's the infrastructure bill that passed Congress. There are 27 different programs in that bill that may be of interest to electric cooperatives. That's a lot. And all those programs are having their different time frames, and some are funding existing programs so you can move them right ahead. Other agencies are starting up anew. This is an exceptionally huge opportunity, but it's also really complicated. And as with everything in life, details matter. And we're working hard with our members to help them navigate this. And what we've done, we can't help our members on all 27 of those opportunities, but what we've made a decision as a national association is we've created 5 consortia groups around 5 issues where we're bringing our members together to bid as a group. And those are going to be in the consortium for electric vehicles, microgrids, cyber and physical security, the natural hazards mitigation, which is really resilience in terms of storms, and the smart grid and data consortium. We're bringing together our members. That's why you have a national association, quite frankly. They couldn't do it on their own. And so they pool their resources together. We're real excited to be part of that. But I just got to tell you, this is complicated. Any federal program is, right? And we're working hard to make sure it's successful for our members. But I think that's really exciting. And that's really the positive story I bring to you is that there's significant investment that's going to be made by electric cooperatives across the country. We've always looked to embrace technology, always looked to embrace innovation. We have the flexibility to do it in ways that's really exciting, and we're looking forward to that future. At the same time, however, we also are very concerned about the issue of reliability. You know, I think about it over the last few years, how many speeches have you heard in the energy sector where someone gets up, I do it all the time, talks about all the change. There's so much change going on. There's change in technology, change in the rules, change in everything, right? And there is a lot of change. But I'll tell you something that hasn't changed. It started 80 years ago with the electric industry. It's going to exist in the future. Job one is keeping the lights on. It's that simple. And yet, while it's that simple, I fear that in the policy world, people aren't recognizing that. And we've got examples where we're moving in that direction of less reliable supply in this country. It just happened December 23, December 24, where in 9 states there were rolling blackouts. Rolling blackouts because we couldn't get the gas to the plants to run them. You know, all the peakers were running on oil for those days. And we still had 9 states that had blackouts. reliability really is something that everybody in the energy sector says affordable, reliable, because we all really do believe that. Those aren't just words, they actually have meaning. But we're at a point now in the electric side where we've got to be very thoughtful about the integrity of the grid and the reliability of the grid. And it's not just me. Look at what NERC, the North American Reliability Corporation, has said. They talk about the fact that we have this, their words, disorderly retirement of generating assets in this country that is putting us at greater risk. Their summer report, which they published spring of last year, talked about the vulnerabilities in the summer. Thank goodness we didn't have serious blackouts, but you all know what happened that first week of September in California. They were right on the edge. Then they issued their winter report, like August, and here we were in December, 9 states with rolling blackouts, right on the edge. Is this what America is supposed to be, where if we ever have a significant cold or warm weather spike, that our grid gets pushed right to the edge and has problems? This is something that my membership is concerned about. We're trying to be a voice of reason. We understand all the opportunities of new investment, new technology. We're excited about it, but at the same time, when you do a transition, transitions are never totally smooth, are they? There's always bumps in the road. We've got to be thoughtful about this. When it comes to the operating side of the electric grid, utilities own that reliability issue, right? Who owns the reliability issue on the policy side? My answer is I don't think anyone owns that issue, and that's part of our problem. Now, NERC, this is their charter to look at reliability. Thank goodness they're there, but they don't have the ability to affect policy and implement it, right? They can make recommendations. So who's in charge? Is it FERC? Is it DOE? Is it the Congress? I don't think anyone is fully embracing the idea of how we maintain this grid, which is so central to how this country functions every day. And oh, by the way, we're also in the process of electrifying so many other aspects of our economy that the grid is going to be all the more important, but all the more stressed. And then you have agencies that have no role that you would think about in thinking about reliability, but they're making decisions that affect reliability. I mean, does anyone at the EPA think about reliability when they're talking about making new rules and regulations? We all know the answer to that. So this is an issue that we've been raising everywhere we can with policymakers about the importance of reliability of the grid and the decisions that get made in various aspects in the policy world. They have consequences. This grid is a special thing. It's, what was it, I forget the association, the engineering association, I forget which one it was, said in the last century, the greatest accomplishment in the entire century was not computer thing, it was the electric grid. It's something that's special, it's something that's central to our economy, and we got to make sure we nurture that and recognize how to invest in it in terms of making sure it is successful in this transitioning energy economy. So that's the message I bring to you today, something I hear from my members every day, something we're going to continue to focus on. We pride ourselves in the co-op world for being the truth tellers. We're really all about just keeping the lights on. It really does matter to us. And so while you hear it from all of us in the energy sector, and you may gloss over those words, don't gloss over them. Reliability, affordability, that really is job one for us. It's our mission every day. It's what we're going to continue to pursue.